Trent with Project 6, and today we're going to be doing a test drive in the Storm S. I'll give you guys some sound clips and general information about the swap. Let's get to it. Alright, so this is the Project 6 Storm S conversion for the Boxster 986. It's still my prototype car, so as you can see, this engine, I never refreshed it. I just threw the original engine harness on it. Got some, just some aluminum pipe and silicone hoses and stuff like that, made the intake. So yeah, this is what, you know, throwing a cheap engine in there looks like, but this is the Audi S6 engine. This came in a C5 S6 Avant in, it's just, I think the engine code is BBD. It's just a 4.2 liter V8. It's got 5 valves a cylinder. This is a 40 valve engine. And we got it tuned to about 370 horsepower right now. Alright, so as you just saw, you know, that's my prototype Boxster. So that's got an Audi S6 engine in it. I didn't clean it up or anything. I literally just took it out of the car and put it right up in there. And that's why it looks so messy. So it's everything's a prototype that you see. The harness, the extra wiring that I have wrapped up in there, the intake pipe, it's all gonna be different. So like the intake pipe, I got a custom pipe made, so it's gonna sit lower and I'll be able to put the convertible top down all the way. And then the harness, like there's a lot of extra stuff that I should cut off, but I haven't. It's just wrapped up in there for now, just in case. But yeah, so anyway, the Storm and the Storm S. So the Storm will consist of the A6 or the A8 engine from the C5 or D2 chassis, early 2000s. The Storm S will consist of the S6 or the S8 engines, also D2 or C5, early 2000s. These are belt-driven engines. These are not timing chain, these are belt-driven. They're extremely reliable, they don't really blow up. They got 5 valves a cylinder, like 4.2 liter, and I have the S engines tuned to, 370 horsepower right now, and the A engines can tune in to 330. So, you know, whatever engine you choose, that's all within, like, you know, your budget basically. So how this works is, I basically have the, I don't need an adapter plate. So I can basically bolt these 4.2 V8s up right to our transmission and use off-the-shelf parts for the clutch. You know, like I'm using an S4 clutch right now, clutch and flywheel. You can get a Fidanza aluminum lightweight flywheel and a stage 1 clutch or whatever you wanted to do. You can play around with it quite a bit. I make my own, all the engine mounts and stuff, I custom make here. I use stainless steel instead of steel or aluminum, because for one, I cannot use aluminum. It's just too thick for what I need, where I need it basically on the engine in the car. You know, for me to make these engines fit in here without cutting anything, it needs to be pretty compact. So that helps fit everything in and keep the AC and power steering basically. So yeah, these engines, the transmission stays still. I don't have to move that back or forward. These engines just bolt right up to the transmission, and I'm able to put it right up in there. And the wiring as well, I don't have to cut the wiring either. So I have a jumper harness that plugs in from the Audi engine harness to the Porsche's body harness. And then for the CAN bus cars, we have a CAN box that converts the Audi CAN bus language into the Porsche CAN bus language and spits it out into the car. So you're able to have everything communicate with each other, just like OEM, everything on the cluster. Now mine's currently out and I'm perfecting it. It's taking a little longer than I thought. I thought I had it figured out when I released the car, but I didn't. So, I mean, I did, but I want it to be 110%, before I bring it out to the public. So that's where we're at with that. It basically bolts right up. Audi S4 clutch system, jumper harness for the wiring, so you don't have to cut the car, you don't have to cut the wiring in the car. Nothing gets cut. You can revert right back to an M96 engine or an M97 engine, and no one would ever know there was a swap in that car. Full turnkey swap through me is $8,000. The engines, I'm going through a company that supplies them, and they knows them very, very well. So I only will be getting engines from them. I will only be dealing with engines from them. So they will cover a warranty with the engine and everything else. I'll cover a warranty, obviously, with my parts. He'll cover a warranty with the engine. Basically, you will buy the engine, have it shipped here, which he's not far from me, actually. And so you'd have the engine shipped here, and I will install it for you guys. So that's how that works. So it's $8,000 for the Storm and the Storm S conversions, and then depending on your budget, if you get an A6 or an A8 engine or an S6 or an S8 engine, typically the S8 engines are the most expensive, and the A6, A8 engines are the least expensive. The S8 engines have a little hotter of an exhaust cam than the S6 engines. They're basically the same thing, except S8 has a little bit hotter of an exhaust cam. These engines, I think they belong in the cars over anything else. One, because it stays in a Volkswagen, Audi, Porsche community. I'm able to get a lot of things, like I said, no adapter plate for the transmission. I'm able to fit it in the car without cutting anything. It fits, it adapts right to the transmission. Some of the wiring is the same. A lot of it's different, but some of the wiring is the same. Two, you don't have to cut the car. That's amazing. Like, no one wants to cut their car up, especially a Porsche. I mean, if it's the only option you got right now, you got to do it. But I don't like cutting cars up, honestly. Three, it's about 70 pounds or more lighter than the original Porsche engines. So, also without the need for an adapter plate and stuff like that, you're a pretty light engine. You're all aluminum. You're only a 4.2, and brings me to my next step. 4 is pushing 370 horsepower, which is not bad. That's pretty decent for an engine that's 70 pounds lighter going in your car that you don't have to cut up. And the V8 torque that's where it's really at. That's where you feel the difference. That's the nice part about that. And 5, this is the cheapest swap you can do right now. If you have a blown up 2.5 or 2.7 Boxster, then you're at what? An extra 150, give or take, horsepower, 170 or something like that, additionally in your car. That's even lighter than the original Porsche engine. So that's a pretty big deal. Even the 3.2s, what are they, 260? I mean, so you're 110 horsepower more than the 3.2, I think. So that's pretty nice. And, I got a kit coming out and developing to bring these engines up to 400 horsepower. So hopefully that can take off, and that'll really make a big difference as well. So I'm working on other swaps for the 911 and the Caymans and 997s right now. They're in the works. The 911's next for the V8, so that'll be probably released next. And then my special crazy engine swap in the Cayman, that'll be released next. And then I'll probably start also putting V8s in the Caymans as well. But yeah, if you guys, if I missed anything in this, just shoot me a DM if you have any questions. I can answer pretty much everything. If you're local to Kutztown, Pennsylvania, that's where I'm located, swing on by, just send me a DM, I'll send you the address, I'll show you around everything I got going on, and maybe take you on a test ride, maybe you can test drive a car. I'm a one-man show here. I'm trying to get everything out as fast as I can. I run another business that kind of is able to feed this business, the startup, and believe me, it takes 100% of my time for the most part. So, I'm working on a website. I'm trying to work on some videos here and get more videos uploaded for you guys. The other car's done. I'm trying as fast as I can, so don't worry. I'm moving forward. So it'll all come together soon. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, like I said, just reach out to me, and yeah, see you on the next video. Thanks.